Hi there, I'm Callum Mathers. I'm one of the creators of DGBG, Thrown Into Trouble, the disc golf board game. I've had a chance to check out Birdie and Final Nine, Ripped Revenge, and I thought there was room for another awesome game in the market for disc golfers and people that love to play board games. So let me show you what we're working on, okay? So this is layout of hole 14. It is a par 5. As you can see, we've got course wind, we've got a scorecard for keeping track of how the players are doing. We've also got all the different types of throws in a transparent fashion that lay over top of the board that let you figure out what your shot is going to be. I've got tokens here for now. Keep in mind that what you're seeing is not the finished product. This is all going through a design team as we speak, and it's going to look super polished. I have illustrators doing this as a forest setting with forest creatures such as bears and deer and moose and cougars and rabbits and beavers and so many fun things, all inspired by really silly comic artists. It's going to be hilarious. Let me take you through how you would play this, okay? So, first things first, I'm just going to do a one-player match, and I will start by drawing 3 cards. I've got our 3 cards here. I'll show you what those are. Other players wouldn't see these, but we will see ours. So, I have a special throw. I have a cancel card, which would be very useful if we were dealing with another player playing a card on us. And we have a +1, -1 dice modifier. So I'll show you how those work as we get through this hole. Again, other players wouldn't see those. Okay, so I would begin my turn by grabbing my little token. I'm gonna use, just for now, I do have discs, little disc tokens being made, but for now I'll use this little 1 marker. I'm going to choose my T-pad to get down this course. You can see it's a hex-based format. We have to navigate our way down to the basket here. So I'm gonna choose the front of this T-pad. You can choose a T-pad and then adjust this as need be. Now I'm gonna look at the shots available to me. So I see a pretty reasonable driver backhand line. And so I'm gonna overlay that on the course. I'm just gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out, okay? So from what I'm seeing, the end of my shot is likely going to interact with that medium-sized rock there. But this should be passing over the grass, no problem. And these wind adjustments, I don't know what's gonna happen yet because I haven't seen the course wind. As the first person throwing, you don't see it until your first shot. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to this throw, and I'll say throwing. So at this point, I can't change my mind. I'm throwing this disc, okay? Now we're gonna roll for that course wind. You can see how that works. We've got 1 dice for intensity and 1 for the direction it's going to be going. So I'll roll the 1 for the direction it's going first. Okay, it's a wind in the 1 direction, so that's gonna go down the course. I've got it set up so that every 5 spaces your disc goes, it gets adjusted on the blue. Wind adjustments will pass through passable objects, but they will hit impassable objects like rocks. Well, there's different rules for different rocks, but I'll show you that later. I'll roll the other one for intensity now. Okay, so that's a 5 intensity, so 2 spaces. Okay, so what this means is every 5 spaces, we're going to adjust 2 down, okay? So let's have a look at how that would go. So we're gonna pass down this way. I'll get to the wind space. I'll adjust 2 down. We're now going to continue on. Now, I'm interacting with that medium-sized rock. And my little cheat sheet here for rock resolution is I roll a d6. I can pass by it with a 5 or a 6, but there's different consequences if I roll any lower than that. So let me grab a die. I roll a 2. Okay, look at that. Kicks 2 hexes in a direction voted on by other players. Okay, well, I don't have other players playing with me at the moment, but let's assume that they're going to knock me into the water. Because why not, right? All right, so they knocked me into the water. I am going to take a stroke and come out a point of entry. Okay, so that, where's my little marker? I think I moved it so that we could, oh, there we are. So, has a bad kick, the players got to vote, they knocked me into the water. I'm gonna go back to point of entry with a penalty stroke, okay? So now I'm lying 2. What is my next shot? I wanna get into the clearing here and set myself up. Why don't we just choose a different disc? Oh, and by the way, these can be flipped over for forehand or backhand. Very versatile. I love this concept. It's so much fun. So I would like to stay clear of these obstacles leading up to the basket. And so I'm opting for an anhyzer. Okay. So as we can see, so we're not rolling the course wind. There's no need for that. I am going to commit to this throw and let's go. So we get down to the blue. We have our 2 tailwind adjustment. We continue onwards to the last one. Have another 2 wind adjustment. So now I'm lying 3 here. I didn't have any obstacles in my way for that. Well, actually, let me check that out. So I was from here, just down 2. Ah, there was. Okay, so coming onto the end here, we've got these tiny rocks, okay? And again, we're gonna check our small rock little cheat sheet here. Let's turn that screen back on. And we've got a 3 to 6. We'll pass over top of that. And we'll worry about the other consequences if I don't roll a 3 to 6. Okay, so we're passing over those rocks. Awesome. So now we get to the end of our lie. That's another blue, so that's another wind adjustment, 2 down. Okay, so that is our lie coming into, well, I guess lying 3 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really interesting situation, okay? So I'm just far enough away that I can't do a regular putt. I'm in circle 2. So for me to choose to putt here, my job is to choose a line that has that may have 1 line in it, like 1 bend, okay? But it has to be 9 spaces long. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna choose this line here. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, any 9 spaces that interact with the pin, I'm in a lot of trouble if I don't make that shot, okay? So here's the deal. For putting, we are picking up, from circle 2, you're picking up 2 dice. Now, there would normally be a wind here for being the 5th space, but regardless of whether the wind happens before or after the adjustment, if you touch that basket, you're rolling to see if you get it in, okay? So it doesn't matter. And chances are I'm in the water anyways. All right, so here's how this works. For a circle 2 putt, I'm rolling 2 d6s. If I roll a 1 to 4, my disc goes that many spaces. If I roll a 5, it's parked on the basket, but it's still a gimme. Like it's not in, I have to tap in. A 6, 7, or 8 will be in the basket, and a 9 to 12 go right over top. So let's see if I can roll that golden 6, 7, 8. Oh man, so we rolled a 10. That is a little high. So we commit to that line and we pass right over the basket. However, it is point of entry. So line 4, take a stroke. So the penalty stroke, line 5, and it'll be a tap in for a 6. So we got a bogey on this hole. For a bogey on that hole, as a result, next hole, I will be drawing 1 card less than usual. So I'd be drawing 2. What I could have done in that situation is I could have used a +1 dice modifier. Thing is, I rolled a 10. If I'd rolled I could have brought it down to a 9, but that wasn't enough to make or break the difference. So yeah, that's how that game works. Having so much fun with it. You'll record your score here. We've got like a dry erase marker where you can keep track. And that is how this game is playing. I hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait to get this out to you. And as I mentioned in the write-up, there are alternative game modes for solo play, for doubles, and for drinking. So I hope that I can share this game with you soon and get it in your hands. Reach out if you have any more questions. And thanks for checking it out. Take it easy.